Welcome back to the wonderful world of Waikato Sheds, my friends. We've got Richelle here from Fraemohs Homes. We had a wonderful tour of their fantastic new show home. We're now going to look at something else that's fantastic, and it's one of our sheds. Welcome back, Richelle.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn.
Good to
nice
have you
to have you
again.
back.
Yeah, thank you. We didn't actually build it. You did.
Yeah.
Because it was a kit set from Waikato Shed. So we're going to have a bit of a nosy inside, understand why you built it, how you built it, what did you find, and all the tips and tricks.
Yep.
But before we do that, you've got a special little app there. Can you let us in?
Yeah, I can. Let me just open
Tell
the
me
doors
about
for
what
you.
you got there.
Oh, we just have an app. It's attached to all our security system. It's all fully secured. We've got cameras and alarm system, and I can open the roller doors. It's all set up to just hit the button, and there we go.
Brilliant. Security is obviously pretty important, hey?
Yeah.
Especially being next to a wonderful show home, it's all just makes it all nice and safe and secure with all your assets here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all the tools, and Fraser does a lot of sculpture work, so he often has high price, items and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah,
Awesome.
keeps everything safe.
And they're not small doors.
No.
They are huge.
Yeah.
They're 4.5 high by 4.1 wide. Those are Series 2 industrial strength doors. They have to be for that size.
Yep.
But they're fantastic, eh? So why so big?
Mostly so we could get like a truck or something in there when we're getting steel unloaded for Fraser's sculptures.
Yep.
And potentially, who knows what you're going to want to build in there or get out. We could actually build one of our smaller tiny houses in there if you wanted to and roll it out.
That's brilliant.
So it could easily fit one of our smaller solid timber plans in there.
Am I correct in thinking you did actually store most of the materials for the show home
Yep.
in there? So basically you did have a house inside a shed.
We did, yeah. So all the logs arrived in big pallets on a big, actually multiple truck and trailer hire unit, and we just stacked them all in the shed and kept it all nice and dry until we were ready to build.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have a nosy.
Yep.
Awesome. Ebony?
Yes, yeah,
Yep. Ebony all throughout?
Yep, throughout, yep. And that's what we did on the house as well.
PA door there, nice easy access, direct access from the show home on a concreted path, so it's all nice and connected.
Yep.
We're coming inside here. Obviously, we've got 4.5 high doors. We've got 5 metres to the kneel up to that gutter line.
Correct.
And what's the apex there? I'm just thinking it must be about 11, 15 degrees, I suppose, the shed, I think.
Yeah.
I'd have to check that.
I'm not sure.
But you've got heaps of headroom, heaps of space up there.
Yep.
Any future plans? What are you thinking up here?
Yeah, so the reason we built it so large in terms of tall was because we intend to put a mezzanine floor in the second half of the shed, so it's going to give us another 100 square metres of floor space.
Of storage.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. That'll
Yeah.
be great. Yeah, it'll utilise all that roof space up there, which
Yep.
is awesome.
Which should be sort of full height, really.
Yep. Cool. Fantastic. Couple of feature sort of artwork hanging here.
Yeah, a couple
This
of
is Fraser's.
couple of his
special stuff.
sculptures, yeah. So he's sort of he's a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And turn his hand to anything pretty much, and he's
That's
pretty
awesome.
handy with the old welder. He sells his
Yeah.
sculptures and
Does he really?
creates in his spare time. So we've
Fantastic.
got one in the driveway as you come down.
We saw that, Mick. What do you call that? That's,
He's called the Sentinel.
Sentinel.
Got one in the
Yeah.
corner there too.
that's brilliant. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So it was you and Fraser that actually built this?
Correct. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So we just approached you guys about your kit set options because we knew we could do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, we thought we could do it ourselves. We had faith in ourselves.
You
so
need
we
to.
just-
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we just approached you guys and got a plan sorted out and sort of worked out how big we wanted it. It was originally going to be smaller than this. And we decided, actually, you know what? If we're going to do it, we might as well do it now.
Go full noise.
Yeah.
Bigger the better.
More effective to do it now than it would be to try and add on to it later. It's
Pretty hard to add on.
And this shed could even be bigger in terms of what we want to do with it in the future.
Is that right? They can always do bigger.
Yeah.
Why not? No,
Yeah.
That's awesome, eh? That's cool. So functioning wise, I know you were saying to get truck access, but at the moment it looks like it's a bit of a workshop.
Yeah.
It's
a bit of a storage shed at the moment for all that
Yep.
stuff for the house. Fraser hasn't quite got himself set up for the sculptures and hasn't got it set up how he wants for his workshop yet, but
Gotcha.
it'll be probably a full-on engineering workshop at this end, and that end will be more of a storage slash kind of second story.
Fantastic. You've got so much
Workshop
space.
room.
Which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you've got lighting, you've retrofitted all your lighting.
Yeah.
I see you've got nice timber, because a lot of clients will, finish it all and ply line the whole walls. I see you've put some timber on there and run all your power.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. You've got
Yeah.
loads of power points, which is cool.
PowerPoints for Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
think
actually-
you'll line that eventually?
Yeah, so we will. The plan is we've got some milled timber stacked around the back that we're going to line all the walls with and sort of make it pretty fancy.
Yep.
So you might have to do a revisit once we've done all that. But yeah, so we've also got 3-phase power to the shed
Oh,
as
of
well.
course. Yeah.
Engineering.
Fantastic.
Equipment, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for welding and heavy equipment. Yep.
Yeah.
And when you were building it, how did you find, these are pretty massive columns. These are a big 300 C-section columns with their exposed rafters. Working from that height,
Yeah.
I would struggle. I get a little bit dodgy at height like that.
Yeah.
What did you use?
Well, we built all of the portals on the ground
Yep.
first. We just stacked them on top of each other, and then we had a little crane come in and stand them, which was quite unnerving because when the crane lifted them, they kind of like flop around like spaghetti, which is kind of like, ah.
Yeah.
But once you get them propped and stood, and you guys will know, you
Yeah.
get them pretty solid
Yes.
and stiffened up, and it's
Yeah,
really good.
Once
But
they're all braced, and then they also
Yeah.
add to the next one, and then it sort of ties it together, eh?
For sure.
You just got to get those the first lot
Yeah.
up there, eh?
Yeah.
They're
And,
pretty high up there, yeah.
yeah, and so we had a scissor hoist. We hired a scissor hoist through
Cool.
Porter Access Hire, and that was great because we got a little 4-wheel drive one, or the chunky one.
Yes.
And so we could go around the outside on the dirt and stuff.
AT all-terrain, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
All-terrain
That's it.
scissor lift, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a must when you're doing, if you're
Oh.
looking to do a kit set, you've got
For
to have
sure.
those, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially at this
100%.
sort of height too.
Yeah.
How did you find the process working with Waikato Sheds? Because
Yeah, it
we've
was
got the philosophy is our operations teams guide and support as needed.
Yep.
Because we send kit sets all over New Zealand, right down the bottom of the South Island, believe it or not, and some of them are massive, even habitables. So it's important that we have that support network, and so that's our ops guys. Did you have to draw on them for support?
Yeah, we did. I think it's really important to note, anytime you're going to build a kit set or do something yourselves, it's the same as our kit set houses that we send out to salespeople. You have to have some skills. You can't just be anybody build them.
No.
You have to have some skills and some clue.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a registered licensed building practitioner.
Yep.
But you do have to have some skill.
Yep.
And it was great to have the backup and support from you guys. When we weren't quite sure of something, it was a phone call or an email, and it was great to get it nutted out pretty quickly.
Cool. Well, that's good to hear. That's awesome. Looking at some of the specs for this awesome shed that Richelle and Fraser built. It's actually an IL2. We did this as an IL2 because, there's going to be a lot of people in here, a lot of activity, not habitable, but, it just makes it such a big structure. So it's IL2. What that meant is, the columns are a bit more beefed up. It's engineered more, it's stronger. It's actually a higher wind zone here too, 42 miles per second. So with that in mind, the girts are quite spaced closer. Chunky girts, 120 girts here. They're narrowed up, and that'll just tighten and brace that whole structure. So basically the engineering made this shed super tight and awesome. So hey, Richelle, I came along to your show home grand opening, which was awesome.
Yep.
I did notice inside the shed what I found in my short time I was here were well, the ladies love the kitchen, and some of the guys were sticking their head out the window looking back at the shed.
Yeah.
You had comments like that?
Yeah, a lot. People come up and they look and they go, man, that's an awesome shed, Yeah, so we do get a lot of guys that come in, and not stereotype, because I'm a shed girl too.
Yeah.
They come in and they go, wow, I want a shed like that. And, the wife says, oh, I want a house like this. And I'm like, well, you guys can have both just like us,
Why not?
Yeah.
So I guess is that a bit of a segue to say to the viewers that if they want a fantastic lifestyle, beautifully designed home, they can reach out to you.
Yep.
And we could throw a shed on the same property. There's
Absolutely.
a little bit of a connection there.
Yeah.
So, it's quality synonymous with both, so I think we align quite well on those values too. So
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. It's been awesome here today, Richelle. Thank you.
It's been my
really
absolute
appreciate
pleasure.
it. Yeah, it's been awesome having a tour of this completed, fantastic show home.
Yeah.
All the best with it. Hope you get heaps of people through and
Thank
get
you.
heaps of interest. We touched on earlier, website, socials,
Yep.
reach out.
Get in touch. We'd love to show you through. We are here all the time, and I'm available 24/7 pretty much to show you through. So just reach out, make an appointment, and I'd love to show you the Fraemohs difference.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.